In a small town in northern New Mexico, a number of residents began reporting something unusual. It was not something they could see. There were no lights in the sky, no moving objects, no visible disturbances. Instead, it was something far more subtle, and, for those who experienced it, far more persistent. A sound, a low, continuous sound, often described as a hum, not loud, not sharp, but constant, and once noticed, impossible to ignore. What made the reports particularly unusual was that not everyone could hear it. Some residents described it clearly, others, standing in the same place at the same time, heard nothing at all. The phenomenon became known as the Taos hum, and despite investigations, measurements, and decades of speculation, it has never been fully explained.
Welcome to the Unexplained Archives. Real cases, real witnesses, no clear explanations. Each episode documents events that were officially recorded, investigated, and archived, yet never fully explained. No forced conclusions, only what is known and what remains unanswered.
The town of Taos is located in a relatively quiet region of northern New Mexico. Surrounded by open landscapes and distant mountain ranges, it is known for its stillness, its clear skies, and its lack of large-scale industrial activity. It is not the kind of place where constant mechanical noise would be expected. In the early 1990s, however, a small number of residents began reporting a persistent low-frequency sound. At first, the reports were isolated, individuals describing a strange hum, often heard at night, but over time, more people came forward. The descriptions were remarkably similar. A steady droning noise, difficult to locate, present both indoors and outdoors. Some described it as resembling a distant diesel engine. Others compared it to electrical interference or a faint vibration. What united these accounts was not just the sound itself, but the way it persisted. Not intermittent, not occasional, but continuous. For those who reported hearing the hum, the experience was not simply curious, it was disruptive. Some residents stated that the sound interfered with their ability to sleep. Others described a growing sense of irritation or unease. In certain cases, individuals reported physical symptoms, including headaches or pressure sensations. The most unusual aspect, however, was the inconsistency between individuals. Studies suggested that only a small percentage of the population, somewhere between 2 and 10%, could hear the sound. The majority of residents reported nothing at all. This created a divide between those affected and those who were not. Some began to question whether the phenomenon was external. Others wondered whether it might originate within the human auditory system itself. Yet the consistency of the descriptions made simple explanations difficult to accept. People who had never met described nearly identical sounds in similar terms, with similar intensity, and with the same sense that the source could not be located. As the reports became more widely known, the phenomenon attracted the attention of researchers and government agencies. Investigations were initiated in an attempt to identify a measurable source. acoustic equipment was deployed throughout the region. Measurements were taken across different locations and times of day. Researchers considered a range of possible explanations: industrial noise from distant facilities, vibrations from underground geological activity, atmospheric conditions that might carry low-frequency sound over long distances. In some cases, faint low-frequency signals were detected, but none matched the consistency or persistence described by those affected. More significantly, in many instances, no measurable sound could be detected at all. The instruments recorded silence, while individuals standing nearby reported hearing a continuous hum. This discrepancy raised a fundamental question. If the sound could not be consistently measured, where was it coming from? The inability to detect the hum consistently led to a deeper layer of uncertainty. Some researchers began to explore the possibility that the phenomenon might not be entirely external. Instead, it could involve a combination of environmental factors and human perception. The human ear is capable of detecting a wide range of frequencies. However, sensitivity to low-frequency sound can vary significantly between individuals. It is possible that certain people are more sensitive to subtle vibrations or background frequencies that others do not notice. Another possibility involves internal auditory phenomena. Conditions such as tinnitus can produce persistent sounds that have no external source. However, the Taos hum does not fully align with typical cases of tinnitus. Those affected often describe the sound as external, something present in the environment, rather than within their own perception. This distinction is difficult to measure, but important to those experiencing it. Over time, a number of hypotheses have been proposed. Some suggest that the hum may originate from low-frequency electromagnetic signals interacting with the human body. Others point to geological activity beneath the surface, movements within the earth that could produce vibrations not easily detected by standard instruments. There are also theories involving distant industrial sources, with sound waves traveling over long distances under specific atmospheric conditions. Each of these explanations accounts for certain aspects of the phenomenon, but none fully explain all reported experiences, particularly the selective nature of the sound, why some individuals hear it while others do not. The Taos hum remains one of the most unusual and persistent unexplained phenomena reported in modern times. A sound with no confirmed source, a perception shared by some and absent for others, existing somewhere between environment and interpretation. For those who hear it, the experience is not theoretical. It is immediate, constant, and often difficult to escape. Whether the source lies in the external world or within the complexities of human perception remains uncertain. The sound continues, and the explanation remains just out of reach. The archive stays open.
What do you think really happened? Share your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe for more files from the unexplained. Not all mysteries are meant to be solved.